come closer. I want to tell you an old story, a tale that comes from the deep memory of the North. It's about heroes and monsters and a treasure so vast it's almost impossible to imagine. But you should know, this isn't the story you think it is.
So, listen closely. We love to celebrate the one who slays the monster, don't we? But we almost never ask what happens after the fight. What kind of poison gets left behind in the hero's heart?
To find the answer, we have to journey into the Volsunga Saga. Now, this is a truly ancient and epic story, and it's so much more than that. It's really a mirror, one that reflects back at us our own ambitions, our own greed, and the terrible price we often pay for power.
And at the very heart of this tale, you'll find the Cursed Horde. But this isn't just a pile of gold and jewels, no. Think of it more like a force of nature, a powerful symbol for pure human greed that just pulls generation after generation into this endless cycle of betrayal and destruction. It's the real monster of our story.
So, how exactly does this curse work its dark magic? Well, our tale begins not with a dragon, but with a man. A man who let this treasure completely consume him.
See, we don't start with some fire-breathing beast. We start with a person. A man named Fafnir, whose desire for more and more and more ended up becoming a prison he built for himself.
And the way it happens is, well, it's a tragedy. Fafnir starts out as a man, a brother, just driven by that simple hunger for wealth. But that hunger pushes him to betray and even murder his own family to get his hands on the hoard. Of course, the treasure brings him no peace. His heart just twists up with paranoia, until finally, he transforms. He becomes the very monster he probably feared. He becomes a dragon, a beast guarding a pile of gold that's brought him nothing but complete misery.
And right there, that is the saga's core warning. Fafnir didn't just meet a monster, he became one. This ancient poem is telling us that this beast-like quality, this capacity to be monstrous, it sleeps inside all of us. It's just waiting for the promise of a little power or a little wealth to wake it up.
But, every monster seems to call for a hero. So let's turn our attention now to the one who is destined to face this beast, the great hero Sigurd. His fate, though, is heavier than any sword he'll ever hold.
Now, Sigurd is no ordinary man. His family line goes all the way back to Odin himself, the Allfather of the gods. So from the day he was born, he was marked for greatness, destined for glorious deeds. But with all that divine blood comes an incredible weight, a burden that even a hero might struggle to carry.
And this right here is the real conflict for our hero. On one hand, you've got the blood of the gods, giving him a noble heart, incredible strength. But on the other hand, he's still a man. He inherits the same cursed world and is vulnerable to the same human flaws, greed, pride, you name it. This tension is what's going to define his entire life and in the end, his doom.
So you see, Sigurd's quest was never really just about killing a physical monster. That was the easy part. His real test was to face the idea that created the monster in the first place, that curse of greed itself. The real question is, can he destroy the dragon without becoming it?
And of course, Sigurd succeeds. He's the hero after all. But as we're about to see, sometimes victory can be far more poisonous than any venom.
He ambushes the great dragon Fafnir, plunges his sword right into its heart, a true heroic moment. But as the dragon's blood washes over him, it carries more than just victory. It carries the curse right along with it.
They say that when a single drop of the dragon's blood touches his tongue, Sigurd can suddenly understand what the birds are saying. Now, this isn't just some magic trick, it's a symbol. It represents a whole new way of seeing the world. He gains this cynical wisdom, the kind of dangerous knowledge that only comes with absolute power. He can literally hear all the world's plots and betrayals whispered on the wind.
And then he makes his fateful choice. He takes the hoard, and from it he pulls one single cursed ring, the very heart of all that greed. And in that moment, he doesn't just claim a prize, he claims the curse. He takes the full weight of Fafnir's corruption and puts it on his own shoulders. That ring becomes a symbol of everything he's about to lose.
So what happens to the hero who has it all? Well, we now turn to the final part of his story, where we see how that one single victory echoes through the rest of his life, leading only to ruin.
What followed was almost predictable, a tragedy really. At first, Sigurd is a great hero, performing amazing feats for his people.
But slowly, the poison from that horde, the paranoia, the greed, the cynicism, it starts to seep in. His judgment gets cloudy, he gets tangled up in this web of lies and betrayal that ends up destroying his family, his kingdom, and eventually himself. The hero is completely undone by the very power he fought so hard to win.
The warning from the saga, then, is truly timeless. Power is just an amplifier. It doesn't create good or evil, it just magnifies what's already there. Our courage, sure, and our nobility, but also our greed and our cruelty.
And this is exactly why this ancient story still matters so much today. It's a reminder that nobody is immune. It doesn't matter how noble, how heroic, or how good we think we are all subject to these same pressures, these same temptations that they were writing about 1,000 years ago.
So the story of Sigurd is over, but the lesson isn't. The horde, that symbol of a desire that consumes everything, it still exists in our world. It just takes different forms. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. What treasure are you guarding so closely that it might just, one day, turn you into a monster?